Shinobi Whispers. Look, said word. And I. But anyways, I just wanted to show you that. Weird starter for this video. Anyways, I got a request to do my anime or movie collection by Always 5x5. So this is a request video, and I'm gonna show you some of my. First, I'll start off with the anime collection. So, first one is Azumanga Doa or Dio. Very funny anime, and it's just full of comical references and very hilarious moments throughout this anime that are just hilarious. Anyways, this is yeah, probably the first in this series. I don't think they did a second season. That was kind of a bummer. Second is Bleach. Oh, oops. I should have put up this one first. The entry. This is before the other one I just showed you. I bought this mainly because I just wanted to see the fight between Saraki Kenpachi and Ichigo, because that's a pretty cool fight in the series. And yeah, there's this one, and then the one that continues called The Rescue. It's full of more character depth in it. It's very cool fight scenes. Next is Castle in the Sky by Hayao Miyazaki. It's probably my favorite Miyazaki film, and yeah, it's just an awesome movie. And I love the English actors they got for this. I think it was a what's her name? Can't remember. Anyway, there's James Van Der Beek, he plays Pazu, and Lushita. Why can't I remember her name? It's the girl from X-Men who plays Rogue. It's gonna drive me crazy because I can always remember actors. It'll come to me. I'll probably say it out loud. Suddenly I don't remember. Next is, well, I don't want to show this individually, so I'm just gonna show it as best I can. Is the Cowboy Bebop series, and I like these pieces of art on the cover here. And anyway, you got Spike doing his little Bruce Lee kick, and there's the very sexy Faye Valentine. Sorry for the glare. It's my computer that's giving off that stupid glare. Ah! Go away. Anyway, there's Edward. And then Jet. That's the 4th volume. 5th volume, it has Edward and Hein. Yeah. My favorite movie. Cowboy Bebop, the movie. Yeah, it wasn't a bad add-on to this series. This one I'm about to show you is gonna be incomplete. I still have to collect all the volumes, but this is Hellsing. I can't get rid of that glare, I'm sorry. Here, that's better. Yeah, this is Hellsing. Not the ultimate version, which I haven't checked out or watched yet, but I was hooked on the first episode I saw of this, so yeah, it's very cool vampire series. Next is Highlander. Search for Vengeance, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, very smooth animation. It's the same guy who did Ninja Scroll and a bunch of other animated style type movies. I think he did. I'm not sure if it's Vampire Hunter D or whatever that one is called. I think he did the animation for that one. Let me see if his name is on the back. If it's Yoshiaki Kawajiri. I don't know. Let's check. Moving on, we have Howl's Moving Castle. Another very good Hayao Miyazaki movie. And came out in 2004. I'm not sure when it released in the US. Anyways, very good storyline and concept for a Miyazaki film. Next is Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind, and I think this was Miyazaki's first Studio Ghibli film. He had done others before this one, which I can't recollect in my mind right now. Anyways, like the story a lot. It's very cool. Plus she goes around on that glider, whatever you call it. It's a very cool contraption. And just how she speaks to the insects is a very cool feature about her character, and how she can speak to animals. It's a very cool character. I love Nausicaa. This next one is Mobile Suit Gundam. And yeah, this is probably more of my recent purchases. I think it's probably the best Gundam series I've seen so far. And so you got the Exia and the Virtue, Gundam Kyrios, and Gundam Lock-On Stratus. Yeah, it's a very cool series. Plus the music is really epic, done by Kenji Kawai. It's just really awesome. But the basis of the series of the time is 23rd or 24th century, and all the fossil fuels have been depleted from the Earth, and humanity has turned to solar power. And then somehow this group called Celestial Being is able to manufacture these things called solar GN drives, which are totally superior to the mobile suits of the current time during that fighting period. So they just come in and intervene, and yeah, I don't want to spoil it for most of you, but they intervene in any kind of conflicts of war or oppressions. Anyway, it's a very cool series. Next is Princess Mononoke. Let's get that in there. There we go, Ashitaka. I saw this, excuse me. I saw this in the 7th grade, and still has a pretty big impression, even till now when I saw it first. But yeah, this is another Hayao Miyazaki film, and it is, I don't want to put Castle in the Sky in front of it, but they're kind of in the same league with each other. But since I saw this one first, this probably goes as my favorite Hayao Miyazaki film. And it's a very good story, and how, you know, the Princess Mononoke is vowed to destroy, Lady Eboshi, who is in charge of the Iron Town, and who is killing off most of the inhabitants of the forest and, or the forest gods. But yeah, very strong. Sorry, I don't know if you could hear that. That was my laundry machine. But anyways, very cool representation of nature against humanity. So, check this out if you haven't seen it yet. Let's see. Next is My Neighbor Totoro. Very childlike and a strong message in it for children and adults. So, and yeah, I love this movie. In fact, try to grab my little Totoro. There he is. Look, we got the same smile. But you'll probably notice these whiskers. I have a strange habit that whenever my cat sheds his whiskers, I'll put his whiskers into this. It's a weird habit, but it's kind of my way of, I don't know. I just don't put the whiskers in the trash. I don't know why, but it just kind of adds on the funny effect to the Totoro look. So yeah, you stick them in there. It's a very cool Totoro doll. Look, he's got the little fuzzy tail. I don't know if that gets some ASMR for that. But I think I have a winter photo shoot that I put him in, and I put him on like top of my head. I don't think I could balance him. Wait. No, I can't do it. It's gonna fall forward. And then hit like a key on the top there. Anyway, moving on. Next is Porco Rosso. And very cool Hayao Miyazaki movie, and set in the think that's because I think the character Gina in there, she's kind of got that 1920s flapper dress on. And so anyways, I think Porco is voiced by Michael Keaton. And I think that's the only actor I can think of who plays in this movie. So, Brad Garrett, I think he plays one of the seaplane pirates in this. And Porco, he's kind of a bounty hunter. He lives alone on his little island, and then whoever calls him up, he goes out on his seaplane and takes out the bounty or pirates, and just that's how he makes a living. But then finds it very hard when the Adriatic seas are out of work, and he has to rebuild his plane. And anyway, that's kind of the main course of the movie. I gotta hurry up here. Next is Read or Die, a anime that was made in 2002, I think, and it was my first anime I had bought. So I never read the manga, but it's very funny slash serious anime. But I've always imagined Yomiko Reedman if she was like a member of the X-Men. That would be a cool power to control paper. Anyways, that would be a cool mutation. That's always been in like the back of my mind if that was a cool crossover. Anyways, it's very, very cool anime. And it's got that kind of, in the music you hear from it, it's got kind of a 007 James Bond type secret spy music, which I found was very cool. And her hair is always messed up, kind of like mine is, but it's like morning hair. Alright, next is the Read or Die television series. This is only volume 1, so I have yet to collect all the other ones. But still very cool, another cool concept to add to the Read or Die movie. And it's filled with comical references, kind of like Azumanga. Let's see, I can't remember what the sisters' names are. Let's see, they live in Hong Kong, and the 3 young paper masters, Anita, Maggie, and Michelle, use their formidable skills to protect an author targeted by a mad bomber. As their bodyguard duties take them to Tokyo, they will be educated on the dangers of literacy. Anyways, very funny series. Next is Samurai 7, the futuristic set that is taken from the original Seven Samurai done by Akira Kurosawa, but this is kind of very futuristic compared to that original one, and it's not a bad contribution to Akira Kurosawa's work. In fact, I'm glad that they didn't stick with the original story. They kind of veered way off into a future-esque type, but still maintained a village in need of help for these 7 samurai to get together and protect the village. It's very cool. My favorite is, you can only see a silhouette of him, but that's Kyuzo. He is the silent samurai, and he wields the 2 swords behind his back. I don't know if it shows him, but here you can see a little bit of him fighting Kanbei-sama. They have a duel in the 4th episode, I think. Let me see if I can find another. Nope. But anyways, the artwork on these are pretty incredible. This is the first cover on the volume 1. It's got Kanbei taking down a giant Nobuseri, which is Japanese word for bandit. All the Nobuseri in this are giant, huge pieces of robot scrap metal, or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, it's a very cool series. Next is Steam Boy, done by, oh yeah, the same dude who did Akira, and it is very good. Movie, my cousin introduced this to me a while back, and it's got the voice balance of Patrick Stewart and Alfred Molina, and this is gonna drive me crazy again. It's the same girl who did Noshita in Castle in the Sky, who plays Rei. I know they got a girl to come in and do a boy's voice, because I guess a girl's voice sounds very in the same line as a boy under the age of going through puberty, I guess. Anyways, I love this series. It's very cool. It's got the little iron dudes at the bottom there. Next one is Tales from Earthsea. Another, well, not, it is a Hayao Miyazaki film, but I think it's done by his son. I can't remember his name. I don't see it. Hang on a second, I'm gonna open the cover. I want this to be loud. Doesn't give me any information on that. That was weird. This next series is the Wallflower. Another very comical series. And, dude's got a strawberry in his mouth, and this guy gives you like a funny look. But anyways, a very funny series. And anyway, it's about a girl named Tsunako. I just remembered her name finally. Tsunako, and it shows in the first episode of her, getting I don't know. She gets a rude comment from a guy that she likes, and a dude tells her that she's ugly or something, that I don't go out with girls like you or something. It's a very rude comment, but anyway, that kind of drives her to go into a darker state, I guess, and then she goes into watching monster movies and when she's sunken into that state, not sunken, but that's the form of life that she chooses. Respects, so. Anyway, her aunt gets wind of this, and then she sends her to a mansion full of very hot and sexy guys that are going to reform her and stick strawberries in their mouth. Anyway, that's what's his name? Kyohei, I think his name is. He's always arguing with Tsunako, and because, well, sorry, I forgot to make this point that anyway, her aunt has a huge mansion, and these guys are living in that mansion, and she made a deal with them saying, if you reform my niece, Tsunako, then your rent will be free. So that gives them incentive to totally force this girl, Tsunako, to act all ladylike and get her out of the state that she's in, and so it's a very cool conflict in this series that I found hilarious. It's really fun. I heard they made a live-action series of this, but I don't know if it compares at all to this. This is only the episodes 1 through 13, so I still need to buy the entire series. Sorry if I'm going in and out of soft-spoken and whispering. Maybe it's my dry throat. I feel like I have a dry throat this morning. I should go drink some water after this. Next movie is Whisper of the Heart, another Hayao Miyazaki film, and yeah, it's, I think Brittany Snow, her name is. She plays this girl, Shizuku. Anyway, she's very imaginative. I mean, she thinks she's not imaginative. I mean, she's a kind of a storyteller, and she wants to write stories. So, yeah, her character is very strong, and she meets a guy down the road, and then he's I think he's a nephew of an uncle who owns an antique shop, and then this girl somehow stumbles upon this antique shop, and she gets into character development in that respect. Anyways, it has a John Denver song, I believe it is. A song called Country Roads. And they do a very cool rendition of that song in this movie. So yeah. It's a very cool movie. Alright, this is second to last. My collection. Wolf's Rain. This is part 1, which I don't have part 2 yet. I bought this a while back. And I loved this series. Can't stress it enough. It's just great story all the way through, and great characters, great music, and great voice actors as well. In fact, I think the guy Johnny Young Bosch, who does Ichigo's voice in Bleach, does Kiba, who's the White Wolf, and there's Sume, pretty loose. I should fix it. Last but not least, there is the X-Men anime. For those of you who haven't seen this, it's very cool animation, and I'll just stop there. It's very cool animation, but I'm not that comfortable with the villains that they chose for this, because they're called the U-Men. I never heard of the U-Men, but anyways, it's kind of a talking anime instead of, there is action, but they leave it for like the last part in the episode for it to build up like that. But yeah, they did the best job with Logan here with his adamantium claws and whatnot. But I wish they had expanded the X-Men from being Cyclops, Storm, Beast, and Wolverine. I wish they had, expanded that to like Colossus or Nightcrawler or even Gambit, Rogue. There's so many X-Men out there that could have been put into this, but they didn't. Well, there's Emma Frost too, but she's like an off and on X-Man. But yeah, you only get a hint of the original villains in this anime. On the credit scroll, you get to see Mystique, Magneto, Juggernaut, and Omega Red, I think. If those villains would have been put into this series, I would definitely recommend it, but I still enjoyed it the first time I watched it, but it's kind of like one of those you don't come back to and get the same feeling all over again when you watch it. But I bought it because it's X-Men. So yeah. That concludes the anime part of this video. So yeah, I'm gonna do well, actually I could do it right here. These are my TV series sets, and this is, here's 24, the Keith Sutherland. I can't do that without a lisp in there. But anyways, very cool action series and suspenseful series. This is season 1. And my collection, you'll find, is very incomplete. Here's season 2. The great 24 season. That's all the 24 seasons I have right now. And Band of Brothers. Very cool. World War II series. I read the book on this and did a report, and very strong recollections of what went on in, Bastogne and D-Day and when they got into France. So to say, when they're in Carentan, it's just depicts what happened very good. So it's a pretty cool tin cover with the soldiers on it. I was kind of hoping, like, in the Captain America movie, I wish the action would have been more so somewhat bloody, but still maintain that heroic factor where the camera is all shaky and you see Captain America all serious and whatnot, instead of it being like a straight vision camera. Anyway, that's my opinion, but has nothing to do with Band of Brothers. I'm just saying the camera work in the series Band of Brothers, that Captain America could have been shot that way and been more violent in a sense. Now that would have been cool. I won't pull these out because I'll probably knock something over, but as you can see, there's Batman, the animated series 1, 2, 3, 4, and the Batman series, which isn't a bad contribution to. It's a new take on the Batman storyline, I guess, and villains. So the villains are drawn a lot differently than what you would see in the animated series. Get back in there. Oh boy, this is an oldie. Fantastic Four. I used to watch this around the same time as, Batman the Animated Series. I think it was on at that same time period, like 1994, 96. Anyways, not a very big series, but I think it lasted for about, it says 94, 95 at the bottom here. Lasted for about 2 seasons, but the animation changed like a lot from season 1 and then season 2. It's like very different animation. And I have the first season of Futurama here. Very funny series. This is only the first season, so it doesn't really count as a set. Here's another one called Into the West. Very cool series. And I love the cover on this with the Lakota Indian. And I think this guy's name is Matthew Settle. And he was in the Band of Brothers series. And there's Kerry Russell. It's a very interesting series. It starts with like in the 1820s, I think, and then it goes all the way up to what's it called? Oh yeah, the Battle of Little Bighorn, and then just, I don't know, the whole Western frontier, concluding to the Ghost Dance, which resulted in the shootings of a lot of Indians. That's very sad. I should say Native Americans. Here is Living Color, season 1, and there is the weird and wacky Jim Carrey as the karate instructor. Very funny skit. And here is the very big and heavy Justice League set. Another tin collection, like the Band of Brothers cover. But yeah, very cool. And Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman on the back. It's got more heroes. Martian Manhunter, Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, The Flash. I think the guy in the red and blue is the Atom. And Green Arrow. Pretty cool. Yeah. Sorry. Tin covers are loud. Probably one of my first DVD sets. Legends of Kung Fu. Very. Which, this doesn't have Bruce Lee at all in any of these. Which I thought it did. But it introduced me to Sonny Chiba, who was in the Street Fighter and I think Shogun's Ninja. And I think that's it. But anyways, Sonny Chiba is a very interesting actor. You may remember him from the bar scene in Kill Bill Volume 1. As he plays Hattori Hanzo. I've got the first and second season of The Office here. Very funny series. And it's a series called Kaki no Gundan, but also translated as Shadow Warriors. And it stars Sonny Chiba as Hattori Hanzo. Or not the Hattori Hanzo, but either 4th or 5th generation of Hattori Hanzo, which is very weird if I get into that. Should both name the same, but anyways, it takes time, or the time period is the Iga clan has disbanded or has been destroyed by the Shogun. Not Ieyasu Tokugawa, but another Ieyasu down the line who destroys most of the Iga ninjas. And the rival in this series is always the Koga ninja clan. So it's Koga versus Iga sometimes in this series. And yeah, there we go. We got Sonny Chiba on the back there. And he leads his band of Iga clan brothers and sisters. And it's pretty cool. It's also got girl ninjas in this as well. But every episode it ends with this Japanese song, which is very kind of weird and not very ninja-ish. I don't know the lyrics to the song whenever they do that at the end of every episode, but it kind of throws you off guard, I guess. And then it goes into like ninja music, which is kind of cool. Here we have the Tick series. Grew up with this series. They've only been able to release like season 1 and season 2. I don't know what happened when they're gonna release the other seasons. Anyway, next is Wolverine and the X-Men on Blu-ray. And it's a very cool cover, but nothing like the animation in the series. But, yeah, I wish they had continued the series. It wasn't a bad story where it was leading up to in the last episode. It showed Apocalypse, I think, and Mr. Sinister. I wish in the next X-Men movie, if they'll show Mr. Sinister or Apocalypse, because they're like huge villains in the X-Men universe. So if they continue to do Magneto, then they should introduce at least a second villain, at least, to make the threat more intense for the next X-Men movie. But that covers my anime and TV collection. Now, I think I might make a different video for my movies, because that is 2 times as big as my anime and TV series. So I think I'll stop this here and make a separate video for that. Okay, talk to you guys soon.